How authentic are the texts? I said earlier that texts are really important in the life books, and one of the challenges you have as a materials writer is to take an authentic text but adjust the level so it's right for the language learner. And the problem is when you take authentic text and you start to take down the level to match the level of the student, maybe an A1 student or an A2 student, you lose that authenticity and you perhaps lose some of the interest factor. And sometimes when I look at course books, I'm worried that for low-level learners, they have low-level English, but we're also treating them like they're kind of low-level in terms of their interests and their intelligence. And what we wanted to do with the life books was still give lower-level learners like elementary, pre-intermediate, give them texts that were genuinely engaging and about something. Let me show you a text from the book and I'll explain what I mean. Okay, so here's one of my favorite texts from the book. And you see, again, I was just talking about photographs. I actually chose this text originally because the photograph was so striking. You've got a picture of a girl in a pink room and a boy in a blue room. And I discovered this, I found this website of this South Korean photographer, and her work was also in the National Geographic magazine. And she'd done a series of photographs called Color. And in particular, she'd focused on the color of people's bedrooms and children's bedrooms. And she discovered in South Korea, for example, that lots of girls had very pink bedrooms and lots of boys had very blue rooms. So there was a kind of an intrinsic interest to the text. And then I started reading about the photos. And there's a long history of color associated with boys and girls and pink and blue. And in fact, 100 years ago, it was considered fashionable in the United States for boys to wear pink and girls to wear blue. And then it changed in around the 1950s. So I took the information and I rewrote it into a text. And I wrote it for quite low levels. But for me, the authenticity came out of the authenticity of the information. So when we talk about authenticity in texts, we're not just talking about authenticity of language, we're talking about authenticity of information, where you can give students a text and it's about something that really exists. It's not made up. So when students finish reading this text about pink and blue, or the photographer in South Korea, they could actually go on the internet and discover that this person really exists. They can even go to the photographer's website and see more of their work. So the authenticity is about authenticity of information rather than worrying so much about by adjusting the language level, say from C1 advanced level down to, I don't know, A2 pre-intermediate or A1 elementary level, do we lose anything? I don't think we do, as long as you keep the authenticity of the information. And that's what makes it motivation for students to read.